Acolyte scouting with from Pipinka. That's pretty. I mean, it's the Acolyte that was originally scouting, so it's pretty useful because you will be able to just go around the map and check whether the Orc has expo. You don't need to send skeletons all the time. Here he gets ensnared, and that's a bit unfortunate, but well, happens. I mean, he probably didn't count on daylight. The Farseer trying to run from the Undead Coil and the Nova. And this is actually Freak's own mistake, because instead of the first Wind Rider, which is useless at this point, I mean, it would be useful if you were fighting against the ghouls, but the Undead player, if he's smart, he's not bringing out the ghouls at this stage, because first of all he needs wood, and second of all, I mean, you've got a TC, so it's not actually that much worse to have ghouls without frenzy against a TC who's just going to stomp them, and you're probably also going to have, like, I mean, usually you have some raiders, so I mean the ghouls are just going to die and they're not going to do that much damage. So instead of the first Wind Rider, Freak should actually have gotten a raider, which would have meant that he would have been able to fend off this harass on his Farseer, I mean this Coil Nova, and by just ensnaring the Lich, or by just ensnaring the Death Knight and focusing them. And well, and since he didn't get any of those, well, tough shit. Now, pretty much 3 minutes later than he could have, he actually crept his expo spot. So, expo 3 minutes late. What does 3 minutes mean? I mean, 3 minutes means, well, the tech from tier 2 to tier 3 for the Undead. So that's a pretty big, how shall I put it, pretty big delay, or a pretty big disadvantage that Freak put himself into by actually not optimizing his creep pattern, and by not going directly for the thing he wanted to do. I mean, you don't actually have to expo directly. I mean, you can actually also, I don't know, harass, go to tier 3, or actually make a go at his base or something like that. But I mean, do something a bit more productive than just creep an orange spot, and then, well, I mean, just creep a bit while you're just giving the Undead player a whole bunch of time to just get the units he wants, and, well, he won't have anything to worry about. And now you will see that, I mean, there are already destroyers, and the ghouls already have frenzy, and there's no expo up. So Freak is in a bit of a tough spot. I mean, he's massing Wind Riders right now, which is, I mean, given the situation, it's not that bad. I mean, it's pretty much the only thing he can do. And he has a level 3 TC and a level 3 Farseer, which is nice, but the TC is just going to be useful against the ghouls, and there are going to be 4 Destros, so the Wind Riders really have to do a bit more damage than just the damage to those. Well, how many does he have? He has 6. I mean, that's okay. I mean, but against Destros with mana, you should usually, well, and that's what Freak does. I mean, he backs off, and you shouldn't fight against Destros with mana, because they do horrible amounts of damage. No, not horrible, but very good amounts of damage from the Undead perspective. And now a stomp. Yeah, a bit late, but still a stomp. And the thing is, the Lich has gone to level 3, which means that the Wind Riders like this are a bit useless. I mean, unless you definitely outmass the destroyers, and especially if the destroyers are attacked 0-2, which is very common if the Undead goes for ghouls, because he will have a lot more lumber, so he will be able to upgrade his units a lot more. So yeah, bats are nice, but bats don't work that well against upgraded destroyers. I guess everybody knows that. And one classic thing that every Undead player should remember is that when you do your first attack with destroyers, if you go for mass destroyers, always send let's say 2 or 3 ghouls to the expo spot, unless he has like 1 or 2 towers. I mean, the main thing is that you send ghouls to the expo spot, even if the expo is up. I mean, it's like usually what happens is that you will fight his army or his burrows with your destroyers, and in the meantime, his expo is going to be taken down by 2 or 3 ghouls. And that puts you into a much better position than if you had those 2 or 3 ghouls with your main army, because they would be kind of useless there. I mean, no, they wouldn't be useless, but they wouldn't have such a big effect on the outcome of the game. Yeah, so I think this is this replay. Just to recap, I mean, the main thing that Freak didn't do right is the fact that he didn't expo fast quickly enough, and he didn't get a Raider before he got his Wind Riders. The Raider, even against ghouls, is good because you will be able to fend the heroes off, first of all, force surrounds, and also pick off individual ghouls if he's just going back and forth. Because at that point, the Undead player is faster than you, because he usually has at least Unholy Aura level 1, so, and you won't have any TC Aura, so, I mean, you won't be able to catch him up. And the Raider prevents him from just dancing around you and surrounding with ease and all that kind of stuff. So usually 1 Raider is very necessary. And the thing is, I mean, even if you see him going ghouls, it's not a sure bet that he's gonna go mass destroyers afterwards. So you still have to kind of scout and check out whether he has 2 slaughterhouses or 1 slaughterhouse. If he has 1 slaughterhouse, it's I mean, it's a fair chance that he's gonna go for ghouls, fiends, and statues, and maybe some destroyers, but not a lot. And which means that an army which is comprised of Grunt and Wind Riders is going to get owned, because, well, I mean, obviously grunts are obviously Wind Riders are going to die fairly quickly to fiends and ghoul focus fire, and while grunts are not going to cut that much. I mean, the only thing you really have is the Farseer and the TC, and, well, I mean, there might be a Crypt Lord or Dreadlord third, so your TC is not going to be as effective as it could be. So yeah, I don't know if I'm going to post this. I mean, I'll see. Anyways, this is Frozgard signing out.